Seniors over 65. For nuts you must eat and for you should never touch. Forever Health 247. You've been told that nuts are healthy, that they're good for your heart, packed with healthy fats, and perfect for snacking as you age. But what if I told you some of the most popular nuts can quietly damage your brain, spike your blood pressure, clog your arteries, and even accelerate memory decline? If you're over 65, this matters more than ever. A major study from the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that eating the wrong kind of nuts on a regular basis can increase your risk of heart disease by up to 48%. And the worst part? These are nuts that many seniors eat every single day, thinking they're helping their health when they're actually making things worse. One particular nut used in many low-carb diets is especially dangerous for older adults. It's been linked to toxins that can harm your liver, kidneys, and even your cognitive function over time. And odds are, it's already sitting in your kitchen right now. But there's good news too. In today's video, we're revealing the 4 best nuts to support senior health nuts that help lower blood pressure, improve brain function, reduce inflammation, and keep your heart strong. We're also exposing 4 nuts you must avoid at all costs, and we'll explain why they're harmful, especially for aging bodies. And make sure you stay with me to the very end, because the one most dangerous nutrient almost no one talks about might shock you. It's flying under the radar, but it could be quietly harming your health every time you snack on it. Before we dive in, let me know in the comments where you're watching from and how old you are. Forever Health 247 is here for you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon so you never miss another senior-specific health tip that could change your life. Alright, let's get into the top 4 nuts that can help your heart, brain, and energy, and the 4 that could be silently working against you. Among the best foods seniors can add to their diet are almonds, a true powerhouse when it comes to bone health, heart protection, and brain function. As we age, our bones naturally become more porous and fragile, especially after age 65, when bone loss accelerates significantly. This makes us more vulnerable to fractures, which can lead to serious complications and long recovery times. But here's where almonds shine. Just a quarter cup of almonds a day provides around 97 milligrams of calcium, which plays a vital role in keeping bones strong and resilient. But calcium is only part of the story. What makes almonds so unique is their high magnesium content, a mineral that many seniors unknowingly lack. Magnesium helps guide calcium away from arteries and into bones, preventing the buildup that contributes to artery hardening and instead using that calcium where it's truly needed. Beyond bone support, almonds also promote heart health, thanks to their monounsaturated fats, which help reduce bad LDL cholesterol, a key factor as the risk of cardiovascular disease increases with age. I often recommend that seniors aim for 15 to 20 almonds daily, ideally raw or dry roasted without added salt. Their fiber content, about 3.5 grams per serving, also makes them excellent for relieving constipation, a common issue that affects up to 40% of older adults. I've seen this firsthand with my own father, who struggled with irregular digestion for years. Just by adding a handful of almonds to his morning routine, his digestive health noticeably improved. But perhaps the most exciting benefit comes from how almonds protect the aging brain. Research from Tufts University has shown that almonds help prevent oxidative damage to brain cells, one of the key factors behind age-related cognitive decline. Even better, when almonds are eaten with their skins intact, the flavonoids in the skin combine with the almond's natural vitamin E to create a powerful antioxidant effect nearly twice as strong. That's why I always encourage choosing almonds that haven't been blanched or overly processed. Just one quick safety note. Almonds can be a choking hazard for older adults with swallowing difficulties, so be sure to chew them thoroughly, or consider soaking them overnight to soften the texture. Whether you enjoy them on their own, sprinkle them over oatmeal, or blend them into smoothies, almonds are one of the smartest, simplest choices you can make for aging well from your bones and heart to your brain and belly. Next on the list are walnuts, often hailed as the ultimate brain-boosting nut, and not just because they resemble tiny brains. Their unique shape is actually symbolic of their benefits. Walnuts are the richest source of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, YLA, compared to any other common nut. This is especially important for seniors, as omega-3s help maintain the structure of brain cell membranes and improve neurotransmission, which tends to slow down with age. In fact, in a recent clinical study, older adults who consumed just 1.5 ounces of walnuts daily for 8 weeks showed noticeable improvements in processing speed and mental flexibility, to key areas of cognitive function that often decline over time. But that's not all. Walnuts are packed with polyphenolic compounds that have been shown to cross the blood-brain barrier, where they actively combat inflammation in neural tissues. These compounds may help delay the onset or progression of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia, giving walnuts a unique place in any senior's nutritional plan. One aspect that many people overlook is that walnuts also contain melatonin, the hormone responsible for regulating sleep. Since melatonin production declines naturally with age, a small handful of walnuts in the evening may actually help improve sleep quality, something many seniors struggle with. And beyond the brain and sleep, walnuts also support cardiovascular health. Thanks to their arginine content, which supports blood vessel function, and their powerful antioxidants, walnuts can help keep arteries more elastic and even enhance the effects of blood pressure medication. This is incredibly important, given the increased risk of heart disease in older adults. To preserve their delicate oils and nutrients, it's best to store walnuts in the refrigerator and aim to eat 7 to 9 walnut halves daily. If you enjoy a little hands-on activity, cracking them yourself can also help maintain fine motor skills, which is a small but meaningful way to keep your coordination sharp. Some people find the flavor of walnuts slightly bitter, but don't be discouraged that bitterness is actually a sign of their potent antioxidants at work. Whether sprinkled over oatmeal, added to a salad, or enjoyed on their own, walnuts are more than just a snack theory, a daily defense for your brain, heart, and overall vitality. Secondly, let's talk about pistachios, one of the most underrated nuts when it comes to supporting blood pressure health in seniors. While almonds and walnuts often get all the attention, pistachios quietly offer an impressive array of benefits, particularly for those looking to manage hypertension naturally. Unlike many salty snacks, pistachios are naturally low in sodium and remarkably high in potassium, offering around 285 milligrams of potassium per serving. This mineral balance is especially crucial for older adults because it helps the kidneys flush out excess sodium, which in turn supports healthier blood pressure levels. In fact, research suggests that eating pistachios regularly can lower systolic blood pressure by 3 to 5 points, similar to the effects of some prescription medications, but without the side effects. Beyond heart health, pistachios also contribute to eye protection, which is essential for maintaining independence and quality of life after 60. These vibrant green nuts contain lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 carotenoids that accumulate in the macula of the eye, where they help defend against age-related macular degeneration, AMD, the leading cause of vision loss in older adults. I remember one senior in our wellness group who began snacking on pistachios after struggling with dry, tired eyes during evening reading. Within weeks, she reported improved comfort and clarity, crediting the pistachios as a delicious and helpful addition to her daily routine. Pistachios are also gentler on aging teeth and gums than harder nuts like hazelnuts or Brazil nuts. They offer a satisfying crunch without the risk of chipping a tooth or straining jaw muscles. Their beautiful green and purple hues aren't just for show. Either they signal the presence of potent antioxidants that fight free radicals, slowing down signs of aging from the inside out. One of the most interesting aspects of pistachios is how they encourage mindful eating. Because they often come in the shell, the act of shelling each nut naturally slows you down, allowing time for your brain to recognize fullness. This simple action can prevent overeating, which is especially useful for seniors managing weight, blood sugar, or digestive health. In fact, the International Journal of Obesity found that people tend to eat fewer pistachios when the empty shells remain visible, acting as a subtle visual reminder of how much has already been eaten. And if arthritis or joint pain makes shelling difficult, don't worry, just look for half-open pistachios, which are easier to handle. For maximum benefit, aim for about 49 pistachios per day, or roughly 1 ounce of unsalted or lightly salted ones. For the nearly 1 in 4 Americans over 65 living with diabetes or prediabetes, pistachios' 3 grams of fiber per ounce can help regulate blood sugar levels while keeping you full and satisfied. Whether you enjoy them as an afternoon snack or sprinkle them on top of a salad, pistachios offer a simple, delicious way to support your health with every bite. Taking the top spot are Brazil nuts, a powerful yet often overlooked remedy for thyroid health, which becomes increasingly important as we age. We've ranked them first because they provide one of the most concentrated natural sources of selenium on the planet. Incredibly, just one Brazil nut contains about 96 micrograms of selenium, which is 137% of your daily requirement. This is vital, especially for seniors, because thyroid disorders affect up to 20% of people over 65, yet many go undiagnosed, their symptoms often mistaken for typical signs of aging like fatigue, weight gain, or brain fog. But the reality is, your thyroid is a key driver of energy, metabolism, and emotional balance, and without enough selenium, it can't function properly. Beyond thyroid support, Brazil nuts offer other age-defying benefits. Their unique fatty acid profile helps protect the myelin sheath, the insulating layer around nerve cells that deteriorates with age, leading to slower reflexes and weaker cognitive processing. Preserving myelin can help seniors stay mentally sharp and physically responsive, which is critical for both independence and safety. What makes selenium from Brazil nuts even more effective is that it's organically bound, meaning your body can absorb and use it far more efficiently than synthetic supplements. You don't need many to feel the impact, just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day is enough. Their rich, buttery flavor and satisfying texture make them feel indulgent, even in small amounts. I once worked with a senior who had battled low energy for months until her nutritionist suggested Brazil nuts. Within a few weeks of eating just 1 nut a day, her energy lifted and even her mood improved. But because selenium is so potent, it's important not to overdo it. Much can actually have the opposite effect, so moderation is key. For the best quality, look for Brazil nuts in the shell, which helps preserve their freshness. Due to their high oil content, it's a good idea to store them in the fridge to prevent them from going rancid. These nuts also support gut health, thanks to their natural oils and fiber, which help promote regular digestion, a major plus for older adults who may struggle with constipation. And unlike highly processed snacks that offer little nutritional value, Brazil nuts make a wholesome, satisfying substitute. Perhaps most exciting, recent studies suggest Brazil nuts may actually help slow cellular aging. They contain antioxidants believed to protect telomeres, the tiny end caps of our DNA strands that naturally shorten with age. Preserving telomeres has been linked to slower aging at the cellular level. So, for seniors looking to support their energy, thyroid, brain function, and even longevity, Brazil nuts truly deliver naturally, effectively, and deliciously. In this new section, let's talk about a nut that might not be as healthy for seniors as once believed: peanuts, which surprisingly aren't even true nuts, but rather legumes that grow underground. That difference makes a big impact, especially when it comes to how they interact with the aging body. Because peanuts are grown beneath the soil, they are highly susceptible to contamination by mold and aflatoxins, toxic compounds produced by certain molds that can seriously harm the liver and even raise the risk of cancer when consumed over time. As we get older, our bodies naturally become less efficient at detoxifying harmful substances, which means the danger from long-term peanut exposure increases significantly for seniors. But the concern doesn't end there. Peanuts contain specific proteins that can trigger inflammatory responses in some people, even in those who aren't technically allergic. These subtle but chronic inflammatory reactions can aggravate common senior health concerns such as joint pain, heart disease, and cognitive decline. Adding to the issue, peanuts are extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids, which most Americans already consume in excess. When not balanced with enough anti-inflammatory omega-3s, this can contribute to persistent, low-grade inflammation throughout the body. Even more troubling, peanuts may interact dangerously with blood thinners like warfarin due to their natural vitamin K content. Yet this warning is often overlooked during doctor visits. And if you think switching to peanut butter is a safe alternative, think again. Many commercial peanut butters are loaded with hydrogenated oils, salt, and added sugars, which further tax aging cardiovascular systems, especially in the 63% of seniors with high blood pressure. Even natural peanut butter, if not consumed in moderation, can raise sodium levels and exacerbate hypertension. Improper storage of peanuts can also be a problem, as they are prone to turning rancid, producing harmful free radicals that accelerate the aging process. And when peanuts are dry roasted, which is common in packaged varieties, they form acrylamidia chemical that's been linked to neurodegenerative effects, raising concerns for anyone already struggling with memory loss or cognitive decline. If you've been enjoying peanuts for years without issue, don't panic but consider reducing your intake. Even replacing peanuts with one of our recommended nuts just 3 days a week could make a meaningful difference. It's about minimizing risk while still getting nutrition that supports your body's needs at this stage in life. Your joints, heart, and brain will thank you for the switch. Third on our list is cashews, a seemingly innocent snack that can actually carry a surprising sugar load and hidden health risks for older adults. Unlike true tree nuts, cashews are much higher in carbohydrates, with about 9 grams of carbs per ounce and relatively low in fiber and protective phytonutrients. This makes them especially risky for seniors, nearly 25% of whom have diabetes, with another 48% classified as pre-diabetic. When someone in that category consumes cashews regularly, it can cause a noticeable spike in blood sugar, often without them realizing it, especially since cashews carry a generally positive reputation for heart health. It's not uncommon for well-meaning seniors to snack generously on cashews, assuming they're doing their bodies a favor, when in fact, they may be quietly making blood sugar management more difficult. There's also a physical safety concern that's easy to overlook. The smooth, curved shape of cashews makes them one of the most frequently aspirated nuts among seniors, especially those with swallowing difficulties or compromised reflexes. But it doesn't stop there. Cashews are high in oxalates, compounds that bind to calcium in the digestive tract, reducing its absorption. That's troubling for aging adults, particularly those at risk for osteoporosis, as they need every bit of calcium they can get. For seniors already predisposed to kidney stones, the risk becomes even more pronounced, since oxalates contribute directly to stone formation, a condition that often worsens with age. What's more, the processing involved in making cashews edible strips away much of their nutritional value. Raw cashews contain urushiol, the same toxic compound found in poison ivy, which must be carefully removed during processing. This extra step often leads to nutrient loss, and unfortunately, most store-bought cashews are also oil-roasted and heavily salted, further loading them with unhealthy fats and sodium. For seniors already struggling with high blood pressure or heart strain, this can quietly worsen their condition. Cashews also contain enzyme inhibitors that interfere with protein digestion, a serious concern for older adults who are already dealing with slower digestion and a harder time absorbing protein, which is vital for maintaining muscle mass. Because of their creamy texture, cashews are also easy to overeat, and that can quickly lead to unwanted weight gain at a life stage when keeping a healthy weight is already a challenge. A better approach would be to swap cashews for more nutrient-dense options like walnuts or almonds, which offer fewer risks and greater benefits for aging bodies. These alternatives support blood sugar stability, joint health, and brain function without the downsides hiding behind cashews' smooth exterior. Second on our list are macadamia nuts, a luxurious-tasting snack that, despite its rich flavor, can pose several hidden risks for older adults. Macadamias are the most calorie-dense nuts available, packing nearly 200 calories per ounce, and their extraordinarily high fat content, around 22 grams per ounce, only adds to the concern. For seniors, whose metabolism naturally slows with age, this calorie load can make weight management especially difficult, even when portion sizes appear small. What's more troubling is the strain they place on the gallbladder, an organ that already functions less efficiently with age. For the estimated 15% of seniors with silent gallstones, macadamias can unexpectedly trigger painful episodes, often mistaken for indigestion or general discomfort. Nutritionally, macadamias also rank among the highest in saturated fat, with about 3 grams per ounce. This type of fat has been linked to raised LDL cholesterol, which is already a pressing concern for many older adults dealing with heart disease or high blood pressure. And beyond the internal risks, there's also a practical danger to oral health. The dense, hard texture of macadamias can damage crowns, bridges, or weaken teeth, a problem many seniors over 65 face due to natural enamel wear and reduced calcium absorption. That risk makes macadamias far less ideal than softer or thinner-shelled nuts. Another issue is cost. Macadamias tend to be one of the most expensive nuts on the market, which often pushes budget-conscious seniors toward cheaper alternatives that may be poorly stored or past their prime, exposing them to rancid, oxidized fats that quietly increase inflammation and cardiovascular risk. Even worse, many commercially available macadamias are oil-roasted and heavily salted, further degrading their nutritional profile while introducing excess sodium and damaged lipids. Their buttery, bold flavor, though enjoyable, can also lead to overconsumption, especially for older adults whose sense of taste may have dulled and who gravitate toward richer flavors to satisfy cravings. While macadamias are sometimes touted as heart-healthy, it's important to understand that most of the research supporting nut consumption for heart health emphasizes unsaturated fats and antioxidant content, which macadamias lack in comparison to other nuts. If you're looking for a better option that aligns with senior nutritional needs, consider pistachios. They offer a higher nutrient density, better support for blood sugar control, and are generally easier on both the teeth and the wallet. Making a simple swap a few times a week can help ensure you're getting more benefits with fewer hidden risks. First on the list are pine nuts, which despite their small size and delicate flavor pose a surprisingly serious threat to older adults. What makes pine nuts especially dangerous for seniors is their potential to interfere with medications. These tiny seeds contain compounds that may disrupt the action of more than 60% of the drugs commonly prescribed to people over 65, including statins, antidepressants, and blood pressure medications. Unfortunately, most seniors are never warned about such food-drug interactions by their doctors or pharmacists, which can lead to diminished medication effectiveness or unexpected side effects. Even more unsettling is a condition called pine mouth or pine nut syndrome, in which the nuts leave behind a lingering bitter or metallic taste, sometimes lasting for up to 2 weeks after consumption. While that might sound like a minor nuisance, it can have a devastating impact on seniors. Taste disturbances in older adults are strongly linked to decreased appetite, unintentional weight loss, and poor nutritional intake. In fact, research shows that up to 42% of individuals affected by pine nut syndrome experience significant weight loss, an alarming statistic for a population already at risk of frailty and undernutrition. This phenomenon may be more prevalent in seniors due to age-related changes in taste receptors and slower detoxification systems, which make it harder for the body to clear the offending compounds. Pine nuts are also rich in polyunsaturated fats, which, while often praised for heart health, oxidize quickly, forming inflammatory byproducts. This can be problematic for seniors dealing with chronic conditions like arthritis or cardiovascular disease, where inflammation is already a daily battle. On top of that, the small size and slippery texture of pine nuts increase the risk of aspiration, especially in seniors who struggle with dry mouth, a common side effect of many medications, or difficulty swallowing, a problem that affects over 70% of the elderly on multiple prescriptions. Another hidden danger lies in pine nuts' enzyme inhibitors, which can further reduce the already declining ability of older adults to digest and absorb protein. Combine that with their high calorie and fat content, and you have a food that may quietly sabotage weight management efforts, especially when consumed in common forms like pesto, where large amounts can be eaten without notice. Even more alarming, emerging studies suggest that certain varieties of pine nuts may accelerate age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss among seniors. That means these seeds could contribute not only to physical decline, but also to the loss of independence and quality of life. As we wrap up this list of nuts to avoid after age 65, let this be a powerful reminder. Small dietary changes can have massive long-term benefits. Choosing the right foods while steering clear of seemingly harmless ones like pine nuts can help preserve your health, mobility, and even mental clarity in your later years. Now it's your turn. Have you ever felt a difference after adding or removing a specific nut from your diet? Has one type improved or worsened your energy, digestion, or joint pain? Share your story in the comments below. Your insight could be the very thing another senior needs to hear today. I sincerely wish you who have supported this video to always be healthy. Just 1 or 2 sentences in this video help your life. I feel satisfied. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and see you in the next videos. Thanks so much for watching, and here's to walking easier, standing taller, and feeling better every day.